Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And Ryan Garcia is losing. Will he lose against Devin Haney? I don't know about that, right? I still think no matter how crazy this Ryan Garcia is playing to be, I don't know if Devin Haney beats him. I think Devin Haney has everything it takes. I just think Ryan Garcia has a whole lot that people aren't giving him credit for because Ryan Garcia is viewed by many to just be a goddamn cartoon character. But understand this. Let's forget that whole Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, who's going to win, right? I'm not here to talk about that. We all have an opinion on that. But Ryan Garcia has already lost, in my opinion. Because this man has offended the entire world with his antics and the crap he's been talking about. You know, it's one thing to talk about Devin Haney, talk about his appearance, like other people have talked about. People call him ugly. People say he's boring, mundane, the weakest champions ever, the weakest undisputed champion ever. All kind of stuff you want to say about him. His dad talks trash. You want to say stuff about his dad. You know, whatever. Okay? Talk about his kids, amateurs, whatever you want to talk about. That's within the confines of boxing. And it's kind of amongst himself and Devin Haney and the Haney family because his dad talks a lot of trash. But Ryan Garcia has said shit about children. Whether you feel he's drawn attention to it or not, the bottom line is he's come out here and he's said things that didn't sit well with a lot of people. And a lot of people are very uncomfortable with what he said. They took offense to it. He come here talking about himself. He was molested or something as a kid. Then he comes out right behind that and starts talking about Devin Haney, got tickled by, Puff Daddy. And some people took offense to that, saying, well, damn, you sitting here talking about how you were violated as a young kid. Now you're out here making fun of the possibility of Devin Haney, which there's no truth to the shit. But just to come out and say he possibly was drugged and did something to him, right? People took offense to that. They didn't find that shit funny. Then he got here talking about religion, right? I haven't heard him say anything negative about Islam. I haven't heard him say anything negative about Christianity. But I did hear him say that he just believes in God. But then he come talking about Christianity. But there's some people that take offense to hearing, Devin Haney to a certain extent too. But when you're out here talking about a certain religion, but then, in every other sentence, you're cussing or you're drinking or you're smoking or you're doing things that totally contradict the beliefs and of how a person should conduct themselves according to that religion, right? There's some people who look at Devin Haney like, yo, my man, you wear a lot of jewelry and you use that N-word a lot, but you're always talking about, Allah and all this. Then Ryan Garcia, when it comes to this thing about money, it's been a while that I've been following Ryan Garcia, and he's never really talked a whole lot about money, but he's been talking a whole lot about how much money he has. You know what I'm saying? This man out here talking about politics. He's out here talking about some of any and everything, and just crossing the line all along the way. And I just think for everything that this man has talked about and the things he's said, first of all, he's not qualified, in my opinion, to speak on anything unless it's something he's personally experienced. But this isn't the way to build up a fight. I don't think so. You may say, well, he's got us talking about it, so he's doing a good job. Okay, but at what cost? When it comes to him. Because this stuff that he's doing and saying, it doesn't just go away with the snap of a finger after the fight's over. So I know De La Hoya doesn't seem to mind it. But Bernal Hopkins doesn't seem to mind it. But it makes me wonder what's going on with him. Because Ryan Garcia is, if he wanted to be a tough guy, I guess he kind of could because he can fight, right? But he's not that. But what I foresee happening is Ryan Garcia is out here acting like Al Capone, offending the whole world. Doesn't seem to care what he does, what he says, right? I'm not afraid of nothing, blah, blah, blah. I got God on my side. I got Jesus. This is what he's saying, right? But my thing is this. I learned this at a young age. If you're going to be Al Capone, you better be ready to go all the way. And when you offend the whole damn world, talk about, gays, homosexuals, money, children, rape, religion, race. He's better talk about everything. Then he come out here and talking shit about Earl Spence. Getting involved in places his ass doesn't belong. I mean, I just think this guy here has an uphill battle against him. Because I don't know who's rooting for this guy anymore, to be honest with you. You still got to keep things in perspective because Ryan Garcia can fight, but you just out here just pissing off everybody. Everybody. It's almost like people want to just put him in a permanent timeout. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about putting a pinch in his rib or nothing like that, no spanking his little ass no more. It's not about that no more. It's not like, hey, he needs some discipline. It's like, no, just get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Throw his ass to the side somewhere and get rid of him. If this was a classroom, it's no like, hey, you go sit in the corner. You come sit up here. Come and sit in this desk right next to the teacher's table. You sit here where he can keep an eye on you. Nah, they want him out the effing class. They want him out to school. Expel his ass. Send his ass to juvenile hall. Get him the hell up out of here. And I can't blame him. Even now I'm kind of tired of his ass. You know what I mean? And I was kind of rooting for him. But I ain't really rooting for him no more. But I'm not going to take it to the stupid and say, oh, Devin Haney's going to beat him. Now, I still think people are sleeping on Ryan Garcia. Especially now that he's out here going crazy, you know what I'm saying? He gone El Pollo Loco and shit. Man don't have nothing to lose. I have a feeling he's gonna make that fight extremely dirty, extremely ugly, and Devin Haney ain't gonna like it. And I think I just have a feeling Ryan Garcia is gonna shock the world. But if not, who knows where this guy is mentally? But he's passing the physicals, he's passing the tests. It's fight week, he's here. So he looks right now like he's going to get in the ring. But I wouldn't be surprised if this week he gets some threats. He's made to feel very uncomfortable. And he goes into that fight with his mind not being cleared. It's already kind of convoluted and shit. But I can see his mind being very, very muddled up. Because he is creating his own misery by stirring pots of shit. And plenty shit starts to stink. Anyway, Ryan Garcia has offended the whole damn world. This is outside of boxing. I know he was hanging out there with some guys from the hood, the MMA guys and all that, Nate Diaz, and smoking weed and drinking the Tecate Cerveza and shit. But this isn't what it's about. This isn't how you go about doing things, It doesn't even come natural. It's like, I remember, watching guys and girls who first joined the military, and we'd be out at the club, and you could tell that they're not from those kind of rough backgrounds. And all of a sudden, they hook up with a little group that may be smoking. And all of a sudden now, I swear to God, you could spot them. Because I've never smoked. But when I see somebody smoking a cigarette, they smoke the cigarette, somebody may have it like this. But when you see somebody holding the cigarette like this, smoking that shit like that, it's stupid. Or you got it in the left hand and you got it like this. Turn it all upside down. I'm not making that shit up. And we should sit back and we look at him like, look at that effing clown. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the girls come out there. And good girls from good backgrounds hook up with these little stink cockroach females. All of a sudden they got them out partying, drinking, and now they out there messing around with a bunch of guys and catch an STD. And I have a friend that happened to, and I used to try to tell her. She was like maybe 10 years younger than me. And she had just joined, was in about a year. And I saw the girl she was with, and I started to see a change in her behavior because she was working in our office. And I tried to talk to her, and I was like, look, you're a grown woman. You ain't home with mommy and daddy no more. So you can do what you want. I said, but I recommend you probably get away from them girls over there. I said, because even the things you're saying, the language, the way, the words that you're using, you weren't talking like that till you started hanging with them. And then you want to hear what I had to say? I said, all right. Then I noticed that she had this guy, 2 different guys bringing her to work in that week, 2 different guys. And someone's like, hey, you know, so-and-so, she got these different guys bringing her to work now. So I waited for her to bring it up. And she was talking, no, I'm getting off subject. She brought it up about how she got these 2 guys, and she thought it was funny that both of them thought they were her boyfriend. And I remember when she said that to me, I was like, so you're dating 2 guys? She was like, yeah, like she was a player. And I told her, I was like, that shit'll never work. You're a female, and you're openly talking about how you got these 2 guys you're dating, you're seeing, and you have a relationship with both of them at the same time. I was like, you can do what you want, but there are consequences. I said, but that shit will always be frowned upon. I was like, yo, you moving too fast. So like, you gonna mess around, your ass gonna get pregnant, you gonna catch an STD from one of them. And she was just like, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, all right. I said, I have nothing else to tell you. I said, but that shit you're doing, you seeing your friends, they're encouraging the bullshit. I was like, I'm telling you, 19 years old, you need to get away from that. She ain't listening. So we were on a business trip, and I had to take her to go and train her on how to accept aircraft from depot facilities. So I took her. And while we were going out there, she was talking to me. And I was just listening to her because I noticed something was wrong with her. I didn't know what was wrong with her. And while we were there, she was, it was time for lunch. We went to lunch. She's like, yo, what do you want to go eat? She wanted to go eat Chinese food. I said, boom. So me and her went to eat Chinese food. And I got these papers in front of me. So while we're eating, I'm kind of going over stuff. And she was crying. So I'm like, what are you crying about? Thought something happened to her family. I'm like, shit, I got to send you back. Then she was, because we had a good relationship, man. I was like a big brother to her. She was like, you know, you were right. I'm like, I was right about what? She was like, you know, that stuff you told me, man, about these guys and those girls. I said, oh, somebody do something to you? And she had found out she had herpes. And I was like, there you go. Then got around the wrong people, involved with the wrong shit. Now you got something you can't get rid of. And I think with Ryan Garcia, kind of like that story. Getting around the wrong people, getting involved in the wrong crap. Now you got yourself in a situation you can't get out of. And I think that's what this week I predict something interesting is going to happen to Ryan Garcia. Whether somebody, like I said, another way, they throw something at him, somebody spits on him, he gets threats. Something's going to happen this week. I just can't see him, you know, just talk about religion, homosexuality, about goddamn race, about the secret society, about Earl Spence, about money, about religion, about politics. Everything this guy's gone ranting and raving about. I can't see him getting through fight week without somebody making him, whether it's anonymously or not, making him very uncomfortable. And he'll talk about it because that's what he's been doing lately. He got super tight skin, especially over the last couple months, where he just can't close his goddamn mouth. Y'all keep cool. Ryan Garcia offended the whole world, and I think somebody's going to make him uncomfortable this week. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.